The story you are about to hear is the beginning of a dark lineage marked by hatred, vengeance, and betrayal. How can refusing to succumb to moral decay become the eternal downfall of an entire family? Kazan Yamaoka was born on a silent night, when the wind carried with it the promise of glory and death. From an early age, the weight of the Yamaoka name rested on his shoulders like an invisible armor, shaping every movement, every word, every breath.
Father, I will fight with honor. I swear it will be for the clan.
Honor is not promised, Kazan. It is proven. Take your sword. You have much to practice.
Over time, the training grew increasingly brutal. The sound of swords echoed through the garden like thunder. Each blow received was a lesson, each defeat a mark that forged Kazan into something stronger, more relentless. His father, a man of iron and tradition, was molding the boy into a samurai whose loyalty to the clan would be absolute.
I don't understand, Father. Why is the world so full of shadows?
Because light is weak, my son. It is up to us to protect it, even if the cost is blood.
Kazan grew up, shaped by the integrity of his father. During a ceremony at a local festival, Kazan met Hana, a young woman selling flowers. Her eyes held a serenity that seemed to elude him. They fell in love, and Hana became his wife, a safe harbor amidst the chaos of his life. Later they had a daughter, Aiko Yamaoka, whose laughter illuminated even the darkest days. Years later, Kazan was a grown man, but while the Yamaoka name demanded honor, the world around him seemed to crumble into corruption. He began to observe other samurai, men who were supposed to uphold the same code of conduct, but used their swords to oppress and destroy in the name of greed.
How can you call this duty? How can you stain the sword of a samurai with such vile acts?
Don't be naive, Kazan. Honor doesn't feed families, nor does it protect clans. The world has changed, and you should too.
You haven't changed. You've rotted.
On one of the missions assigned to the group of samurai, Kazan witnessed the true face of his own kind. A village pillaged, women violated, their screams still echoing in the ashes of destroyed homes. And then he saw what broke him forever.
Stop! What are you doing? It's just a child.
A witness today is an enemy tomorrow. Size doesn't matter.
The sword fell before Kazan could reach them. A blade slicing not just flesh, but also the hope that remained within him. The child, short-haired and innocent-eyed, fell to the ground, her stomach slashed open. As the blood pooled, the horror and disgust in Kazan's eyes grew. From that day forward, he turned his sword against those he should have called allies. Wearing a mask of a vengeful demon, he began hunting down one dishonorable samurai after another. Each attack was precise, each strike fueled by a rage that burned like an ancestral hatred. The shadows seemed to conspire with him, hiding him as he struck in the dead of night. But vengeance has a price. As Kazan eliminated the dishonorable samurai one by one, he distanced himself from everything and everyone, except Hana, his wife. She was the only person he trusted, the one who still brought a sliver of light into his darkness.
Hana, you understand why I do this, don't you? They betrayed everything they swore to protect.
I understand, Kazan, but be careful not to lose yourself along the way. Hatred can consume even the most righteous of hearts.
But Hana was not the companion Kazan thought she was. Fearing that his actions would bring retribution upon the clan, she betrayed Kazan, revealing his location to the leaders.
Hana, why? How could you?
You've become an Oni, Kazan, a demon driven by hatred. You needed to be stopped.
Captured, Kazan was taken to an isolated place, where the clan decided his death would serve as an example. The torture was slow, each blow meant to break not just his body but his spirit as well. When he was finally on the brink of death, alone in a cold cell, a figure emerged from the shadows. It was the child who had stolen his hope with her death, or at least something that wore her form.
Kazan Yamaoka, your rage echoes beyond death. I can give you the power to continue your hunt, to bring justice. But in exchange, you must embark on one final hunt.
The child smiled. Consumed by the desire for justice, Kazan didn't hesitate. He accepted the deal, one hunt in exchange for the promised strength. The shadows came alive, swallowing Kazan in a thick mist. When he opened his eyes again, he was in the garden of his family's estate, the Yamaoka property, but not as a man. As the embodiment of a demon, Oni, the very thing he was fated to become. And so Kazan Yamaoka, allied with the entity, continues his hunt, condemning those who strayed from the path of honor. His name, now whispered in fear, became legend, and his vengeance eternal. Indeed, it was just a hunt, but a long and unending one. And you, what stories would you like to hear? Let me know in the comments, but be careful. The entity doesn't like to be exposed. Leave a like and see you in the next tale.